guys, I was going through my safe today, and as I was looking at some of my carry guns, I started noticing a small trend on some of my other firearms as well. And I was wondering if you guys do this. I had a gun that I really liked, modified it, got it to be a really good shooter for me in my hands. And I decided to do a carry gun in a very similar setup because that one was just a little too large. And then from there, I wanted something a little bit smaller to conceal for the times that I can't carry like a 4.25 inch gun. So I stepped it down to a smaller gun, but again, I kept the same setup. If I could, I try to keep the same accessories as well, as far as the same type of mag release and things like that. But overall, I just caught myself sticking to something I liked. And then if I wanted to get something that's just more suited for a different situation, I kept reverting back to that. Here's an example. My very first handgun was this M&P 9 Long. So it's a full-size gun, and it's even a little bit extra because again, it is the long version. This was just a range toy, but it was my very first gun, and it was my very first home self-defense gun. Obviously, when I got it, it didn't have the little extras. It was just the performance center with a standard 17-round magazine, which was more than enough. Later on, I added small things. The biggest upgrade I think you can do to this particular gun is that trigger, the Apex trigger. So it sits at about 3 pounds now. And I didn't have to have a comp or anything like that. It already has a ported barrel. I did add a light because again, this was my home defense and range gun. It's the only gun I had, so I had to use it for what I could. Then I added a dot, went through a couple before I settled on the Leupold. And of course I liked it just because it's got a large window, it's clear. So I liked it. I enjoyed shooting this at the range. I got really, really good with this gun. But again, for the size, home defense, not a problem. Range toy, also not a problem, but not something I could really conceal carry, at least not comfortably. And I wasn't about to just be uncomfortable just for the sake of carrying when I had the option of getting another gun. If I didn't have any other options, maybe I'd look into open carrying. But fortunately, that wasn't an issue I had to go back and forth with. I just decided to get another gun. And then of course, I got another gun, and I actually got two different time frames, but in the end, they reverted back to this one. I ended up getting this M&P Compact 4-inch, 4.25, I believe, but I liked it. 15-round magazine because of the shorter grip. Of course, this one has the extension. When I do carry it, what I end up doing is putting the flush magazine on here, and then I'll have the extended magazine as a backup. So that's just the way I do it. That way this doesn't stick out while I'm carrying it. Right now I'm not carrying it, I have it at the house. So I have the extended magazine on there. The gun is clear, it's just a magazine that has the rounds in it, because I know YouTube will want to be trying to find reasons to take this down. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's a small channel, so hopefully they won't even look at it. But again, basic things I ended up doing with them is extended mag, of course left-sided because I am left-handed. And I just like the overall look, but I want now, this is something I can carry. I actually do carry this. This is what I consider my full-size carry gun, even though it's technically compact. But if I can get a full-size grip, that to me is a full-size gun, regardless of all the extras and length of barrel and all of that. But again, that's just the way I look at it. And optic. So I do carry this, and I carry that not because I just like the way it feels, because I can shoot this gun really, really well, and I can be as accurate as I need to be, and I can do follow-up shots really fast on target with this gun. I can unload an entire magazine at about 10 yards and hit them all within a 2-inch group. So it's really, in my hands, with my skills, this particular gun is really, really good. So I carry it. And I'm not worried about, if anything happens, it gets taken away. I don't care. I think you ought to be more concerned on living. The hell with the gun, are you alive? Because even though some of these guns are expensive, any gun that you carry, people carry guns up to $3,000. $3,000 in this grand scheme of life, it's not a lot. Most of us can save that in a short amount of time, like a year. So yeah, is 1 year of saving, but you're alive, worth it? Don't carry the cheapest gun just because it's might be taken away. be more concerned about whether or not you live through that engagement. The other gun I have, because I like this one so much, is this Shield Plus. As you can see, it's dirty. I do need to clean it. I do shoot my guns. This one is the Shield Plus with the 13 round magazine. I believe the other one is 12, the flush one. But I typically carry this one. Again, I like a full-size grip. This one does provide me that, and it is a smaller gun. If I wear shorts or just something a little lighter, sometimes a shirt will make all the difference. A lighter shirt helps to expose pretty much everything. So if you have a light blue, light red colored shirt, you'll be able to notice, you know, anything pressed against your shirt. So it's always nicer to wear darker colors, green, blue, black, whatever. It helps just conceal it. But for those times, I'll have this gun. So same basic setup. I do have Apex internals in here. I just kept the trigger shoe on this Shield Plus just because I thought it looked really good and it felt really good. It's got like a flat front surface that's kind of squared off. So I got rid of my Apex aluminum shoe for the Shield and just kept this one. That's how much I liked it. But again, same basic setup. It even has the same look, performance center with the slide cuts on there. And to me, although these all have differences, to me, I feel like this is just like one setup in 3 different sizes. So that's one I caught myself doing. Then I noticed I did the same thing on my Glock. I wanted a Glock 19, heard all the hype, wasn't really a big fan of Glock, but people can't be wrong when it's that many people, right? At some point, there's got to be something to it. So I got this Glock 19. And this one also has like a 3-pound trigger on it. This is one of my other carry guns. This is the equivalent to me as the M&P 9. This one's just a little bit shorter at about 4 inches. I try to keep my guns and the frames as stocked as possible. As far as the slide and the frame, I don't like to mess with them. All of this can be removed. If I swap out the barrel for the original, 2 screws take that off, unscrew that, and put a standard magazine. This is gonna look a lot like a regular Glock 19 unmodified, even though it's got other things that I enjoy, like this mag release. I love these mag release. I wish I could find them for some of the other guns. They're so smooth. It's just like a bump. Doesn't bother my thumb at all. I'm not a big fan of those rectangle or square looking ones that end up just at some point bothering my thumb. This is just a simple press, and I feel like it's like anti-snag as well, because really you can't snag anything on that. This side's of course flush, extended controls. So I wanted something similar, but this is a lot to carry if I'm wearing shorts, something lighter, or maybe I just don't feel like carrying the gun, because the more rounds, the heavier the gun is. Like, forget the gun's weight, capacity makes a big difference. If you've ever carried your gun in just its original case by itself, it's not very heavy. Try carrying, you know, a couple of boxes of ammo and you'll feel the weight difference. So, you know, obviously it's a heavier gun. Maybe I don't want that weighing me down. So I got the Glock 42. Now this is a different caliber. For those of you who might not know, this is a 380 versus a 9mm. So the rounds are a little bit smaller. Of course, weight is a little bit less, so is capacity. This one is a 6+1 if you have one in the chamber. Right now, this is just sitting in my safe, but I did get that same style mag release. Again, no snag. This one sticks up a little bit more, but I don't mind that at all. It makes it very, very easy to press. And I've never accidentally pressed either one. For those of you who might think that it might not be the best idea, not once have I ever accidentally let the magazine out, even while I'm shooting, because my thumb sits like much higher. Same thing on that gun. But I did the same basic setup, even the overall kind of look, down to the back plates on them. Of course, the sights are just a little different, but both of them are tritium night sights. Obviously, this isn't cut for a red dot, and even if it was, I don't think I'd want one on a gun this small. At least not for this one. It feels a lot thinner. And of course, the Trijicon orange dot on there. It just makes it real nice for target acquisition. You're not taking precision shots with this gun anyway, but it is the same overall gun as this one. I just think it's like the mini version of it. And I started wondering, like, why? Is it just because of a brand thing? Maybe I just like a specific brand, so now I'm trying to get them in different configurations. But I think like subconsciously, I just like the way the gun feels and shoots, and I just want it in a smaller package. Of course, you're gonna get that in most cases with the same brand if they offer a smaller version. You just have to maybe modify a couple of things that one of the two versions just didn't come with. Here's another example, and this is what I'm referring to. Again, magazine loaded, gun is not. This is my SIG P320. Now this one was the AXG Pro, that's what it started off as, which is why it has the slide looking the way that it does. This isn't anything that I did, that's the way it came. The only thing I added to the slide was the suppressor height night sights, but it did come with night sights already. So I got this. I didn't like the AXG frame. It was really nice. It's a very clean looking gun, just I don't think it matched up with the slide too well. This is more of an aggressive looking slide versus the subtle, more like sexy clean look of the AXG Pro frame. So I decided to swap it out with this Icarus SOCOM. Now when I swapped it out, a couple of things I do with most of my guns, if they allow it, is I change the magazine release over to the left-hand side. So I really like that. This one comes with a really nice spring too. It's nice and light. Not light to the point you're gonna press it by accident, but light to the point that you're not having to really press hard or hurt your thumb in the process of just dropping the mag. You can just kind of press it on there. So I really like this, the undercuts. I just like the frame. I like the way it looked. I think it looks better with this overall more aggressive look, looking like a freaking dragon down to like scales. And of course, this is a 17 rounder. I hope to find a holster so I can open carry this versus conceal. It's just a little bit too big for conceal, which is something I'm gonna try to do with my M&P as well. Something outside the waist or some of my full-size carry guns. I like this, but again, too big for me to carry, at least currently. Definitely can't conceal carry that, at least I wouldn't. So the next best thing is to get the small version of that, which is this P365. Now the 365, obviously it's slightly different, but generally speaking overall, it's almost the same gun. I also got the Icarus frame because I like them so much. I actually got this frame first before I got this one, but I really like the frame, especially on the 365 because it's smaller. You could really get a high, tight choke grip on this. But the slide is something that I really liked. I liked how it looks a lot like the AXG Pro slide. This actually, if you've seen the X50, it's almost got the same top look to it. But again, this is an NDZ slide. I like the overall look, figured I'd kind of get them to both to be the same. Both have a red dot, obviously the dots are different. It's also a different footprint, so those are gonna be the same. But again, overall, beaver tail, aluminum frame. This one, of course, has a light because I do conceal carry it. I don't conceal carry or even carry this one, so I don't need to have a light. And if I do carry it, I probably will not still put a light on it. I just don't feel I'm gonna need it for that particular gun. But again, it's like a mini-me version of this gun. And of course, the base pad, it doesn't add any rounds, but it does add just a little extra grip in case you have slightly larger hands that are beefier where you might need that pinky on there. I don't, I can get all my 3 fingers on the top, but it's good to know it's there. Again, if someone else is shooting the gun, if I take it and somebody borrows it. But again, it comes down to mini and full size. Do you have a gun or guns that you have kind of paired off the same way, where you might have the compact or full size version and then the deeper concealed carry version of that gun? If you do, what gun is it? And if you modified anything on them that is the same, what did you modify? Like on mine, again, all left-handed right here, left-handed mags releases, and of course these two are extended mag releases. This one already came what I thought was a great setup, so I didn't have to get an external one or third-party one because I thought that was more than enough. These other two, maybe not so much. So those are some of the ones I did. Again, going back to the Glocks, night sights, that's pretty standard, I think, on most people's concealed carry. But I did get the mag releases on them, the takedown slides, just to try to keep it uniform. And most of my carry guns, they all sit about 3 pounds. The heavier one might be 3.5, but they're usually almost exactly at 3 pounds, if not just a hair lighter. But again, I'm not drawing my gun just to show it off or scare somebody. If I do take it out just at any point in the future, which I've only done once with this gun, where I had to draw my gun but not actually do anything. I did have my finger on the trigger, but that was it. I wasn't a situation where I'm going to accidentally shoot somebody. If I did shoot them, it wouldn't have been on accident. So I don't mind having a light trigger. It's all on how you train. I'm not putting my finger on the trigger until I'm ready to shoot, or like they say, you're not willing to destroy that target. At that point, I'm willing to destroy that target. So don't worry about me having a light trigger. I know some of you guys think it should be like 5 pounds for a carry gun. I don't feel that way. Again, we all shoot a little bit differently. We all react a little bit differently. And some people practice a little bit more than others. And again, just really comes down to, I think, the adrenaline. Not everyone's going to react the same. Some people tense up a little bit more than others. And it's just, again, personal preference. But that is the way that I like my guns. Again, these are my carry guns minus the full-size M&P down there. I do alternate between, primarily, it's the 365 and my Shield Plus when I want something smaller. And then it's going to be between my M&P 9 and my Glock 19 when I'm wearing just, what I consider a full-size setup. And that's because, again, I could shoot these four the best of all of my guns. If I found another gun in my arsenal that I could shoot better, that was roughly this size, I would carry that one. If it outdid one of these other two. Right now, these two for the full size are the top dogs in my hands with my capabilities. So I'm keeping those. These will be my future full-size carry guns. I mean, I might throw in a 1911 here and there, but that's just more of a barbecue gun to show off. Because as much as I'd like to think I can shoot really well, 1911s, open sights only in 45, I can get a decent grouping. But if I can carry one of these instead, I would much rather do so, because I'm confident with the 45, with open sights only and all of that. But that'll be like a confidence of 7 versus these, which is going to be a confidence of 10. So obviously, if it's a carry gun, my life or someone I love life is at stake. I'm going to level up on those, especially since I have the option to do so. So tell me what you have, what you've modified. Throw in the brand. I mean, not everybody knows model numbers, so throw in the brand of whatever it is that you have, if you do have the regular version and the mini-me version of the gun that you like to enjoy.